Greetings, everyone. My name is Kane Jennings. I am chair of the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our 2020 Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Awards program here at Vanderbilt University. We normally have two awards programs, one in April that celebrates our sophomores, our juniors, and our graduate students, and one in May right before commencement that celebrates our graduating seniors. This year, we decided to have one awards program that celebrates everyone for their accomplishments. I want to start by recognizing our faculty for some of their achievements this past year. Professor Paran Kadambi was awarded the National Science Foundation's Career Award. This is a highly prestigious award for young faculty, and it recognizes Professor Kadambi's many accomplishments in the area of 2D nanomaterials and the host of applications that those amazing materials have. So congratulations to Professor Kadambi for such great work. Professor Marjan Rafat won the Breast Cancer Alliance Young Investigator. And so this award really recognizes Dr. Rafat's fascinating research into the effects of cancer therapies themselves on the tumor microenvironment. So great job, Professor Rafat. Professor John Wilson was awarded the Cellular and Molecular Bioengineering's 2019 Young Innovator Award. This comes from the Biomedical Engineering Society and recognizes Professor Wilson's outstanding work in the area of immunoengineering. I should also point out in some late-breaking news that Professor Wilson's former PhD student, Dr. Daniel Shea, won the most outstanding research paper. This was this week from the whole School of Engineering out of over 100 research groups on a paper they published together in Nature Nanotechnology in 2019. So congratulations to Professor Wilson and to Dr. Shea for that award. Professor Claire McCabe became a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. This is a really big deal. It celebrates Professor McCabe's work in molecular simulations, and she is doing just fantastic work. She collaborates with a lot of experimentalists, and I've been fortunate to collaborate with Claire over the years, and just a great person to work with, and does some amazing research. Professor Peter Cummings became a fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry this year, and he had an entire issue of the journal Molecular Physics devoted to him and his many accomplishments. So really proud of Professor Cummings, and in fact, I'll say that the tandem of Professor McCabe and Professor Cummings gives us perhaps the strongest pair of molecular simulations researchers in any chemical engineering department in the world. So very, very thankful for all their efforts, and congratulations. I want to congratulate Professor Paul Labinas. He won this actually last May, but it was after our award ceremony, so I wasn't able to mention it. But he won the 2019 Edward White Engineering Service Award. So many of you may know that Professor Labinas is our Director of Undergraduate Studies. He is also the School of Engineering's Curriculum Director. And he successfully led us through a relatively painless and highly successful ABET accreditation visit this past fall. And so we thank him for his efforts in our undergraduate program and developing our curriculum and accreditation. I want to thank our staff. They've worked really hard, and we've really spent a lot of time building a great collegiality among our staff. And so this happened to be a picture from the fall when we were celebrating our black and gold. I think a Friday before a football game. Felicia Becerra here on the left. We have LaDeja Inman, or D, is here in the middle. Carol Wiley, Senior Grants Manager. Angie Purnell here in the back. Angie left us in the fall to pursue another position. We hired Jenny Powell as our graduate program director, and really delighted to have Jenny. I also want to acknowledge Jody Roadfeld, who has joined us as a senior grants manager, Crystal Pfizer, who's been our financial unit manager for much of the past year and a half, and helps us out in a variety of ways. So thank you so much to our administrative staff. You've been fantastic, and I look forward to working with you in the coming years. I also want to thank Mark Holmes. Mark has been in the department longer than any of us, and he's just been absolutely terrific to work with. There are so many times where we have an issue regarding space or just a challenging issue to figure out, and it's always helpful to sit down with Mark, because he'll present you 6 options when maybe you only had one option in mind before that conversation, and he'll sketch them out on paper and show you the impact, and it's just been absolutely terrific having the opportunity to work with Mark for these past 22 years. Now I want to move on to some student honors before we get to the awards themselves. Really proud of this slide. This shows our NSF graduate fellowship winners. Up here on the top left, Riley Knight. Riley's actually a senior undergraduate in our program right now, and she won the NSF Graduate Fellowship this year. The next two here, Lucinda Pastor and Taylor Sheehy, they're graduate students and also won an NSF Graduate Fellowship this year. And they join others who have won in the recent past. Rachel Boone, a first-year graduate student, won last year. Amy Sheen, third-year graduate student, also won last year. And Sarah Sacco and Emma Neal have also won in the recent past. So this is quite a number of winners for our department. It's more than I can remember it kind of having in our program at any one time. And so congratulations to all of you for winning the NSF Graduate Fellowship. Our undergraduates were highly successful at the AICHE this past year, winning a number of national awards. The meeting was held this year down in Orlando back in November. So we had James Dome, Riley Knight, and Ben Gwynn and Avi Gargi all won research awards at the undergraduate research poster presentations. It just did tremendously well. That's more winners than I can recall we've ever had. And so really a testament to how strong these students are and how well they've worked with their research mentors over the years. Pedro Seber, who is a junior in our program, won the Donald Oatmer Sophomore Academic Excellence Award, which was based on his work when he was a sophomore. And Kate Johnson, now a sophomore in our program, won the Freshman Recognition Award. So congratulations to our students for really, really great work and quite a successful haul of awards there. I should point out the picture here shows everyone who attended, and except for Riley, and Riley's shown down here in the bottom at her poster presentation. So that shows everyone who was actually here, who went to Orlando with us to the conference. It's really, really great working with all of them. Kazi Tasneem this year won the Biological Modeling Best Trainee Abstract Award from Society of Toxicology, and she also won the Medical Device Specialty Section Service Award. So congratulations, Kazi. She's a third-year graduate student and doing some really good work, and is being constantly honored with awards. And so now we move on to the actual awards. And so I want to point out that all the awards include either a framed certificate or plaque that will be mailed to the winners. Many of these are cash awards, and those that are, a check will be mailed to the winners after the award ceremony itself. And so let's jump on into the awards. First is the William Ma Award for the Outstanding Sophomore in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. This award is presented to the student whom the faculty consider to be the most outstanding in the sophomore class. Support for the award is provided by our generous alumnus, Hubert Ma. And our winner this year is Lucas Mowry. Lucas, as you can tell from his shirt, is a scholar athlete. He's on the cross country team. I tell you, being a scholar athlete, there's about 4 hours out of every day that you're devoting towards your athletic craft. And so you have a lot less time to devote towards your academics. And it's really amazing that Lucas, being a scholar athlete, has still excelled to such a level in his chemical and biomolecular engineering courses. In fact, he finished at the top of his material and energy balances course last semester. Congratulations, Lucas, on all your efforts to win this award. Next award is the Professor's Award for the Distinguished Sophomore in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. This award is voted on by the professors to recognize a sophomore with a distinguished record of academic performance who is highly engaged in chemical and biomolecular engineering courses and facilitates learning by promoting productive interactions with students and professors. Our winner is Long Tan. I've known now for a couple of years. I've had the pleasure of doing research with him. He's a very focused young man, incredibly bright, and it's just a pleasure to work with. I think he's a little quiet in class, but he really knows what he's doing, and you can quickly talk to him and learn that. Very proud to be working with him in the research lab as well. So congratulations to Long. Our next award is the Karl B. Schnelle Jr. Award for Outstanding Performance in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Thermodynamics. This award is named for Professor Karl Schnelle, who worked in this department for the better part of 6 decades. Professor Schnelle served as department chair from 1980 to 88. He taught thermodynamics both at the undergraduate and graduate level many times. He also authored a widely used book entitled Air Pollution Control Technology Handbook with Professor Russell Dunn and our alumnus Mary Ellen Turnus. I also want to mention that we lost Professor Schnelle this past fall. Very sad that Professor Schnelle passed. He was absolutely the champion of Vanderbilt chemical engineering. I mean, he really, what we are today, I think, can be traced back to the impact that Karl had in our program and on our program for so many years. The winner of the Schnelle Award this year is Sagar Patel. So I will say that Sagar was chosen as an eligible student for this award, having completed both ChemE 2200 and 3200, and he excelled in both of these courses. Sagar is, I actually reached out, since I haven't taught Sagar, I reached out to some of his professors, and so I have a quote from one of them. A chemical engineering BME double major who fearlessly jumped into ChBE 2200, which is our sophomore thermo, and ChBE 3200, our separations course, without having ChBE 2100, which is our material and energy balances course. With each passing semester, Sagar seems to be less and less BME and more ChemE. And I think that's a great praise for Sagar. Thank you. Thanks for Professor Labinas, who gave me those nice words for Sagar. And congratulations, Sagar, for winning this award. Our next award is one for Outstanding Performance in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Transport. This award is given to a student who has completed both ChemE 3300, which is our fluid mechanics and heat transfer course, and 3350, our mass transfer course, and excelled in both courses based on the judgment of the faculty. And this award this year goes to a senior, Jonah Jordaning. And so Jonah was the top performer in ChemE 3300, the fluid mechanics and heat transfer course. He was also a strong performer in ChemE 3350, the mass transfer course. And since I haven't taught Jonah, I reached out to Professor Carlos Silveira Batista, who stated that Jonah is a systematic student with strong critical thinking skills. So congratulations, John, on winning this award. Congratulations on your graduation as well from our program. Our next award is the William Ma Award for the Outstanding Junior in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. The award is presented to the student whom the faculty select as the most outstanding in the junior class after 5 semesters on campus. Support for this award is provided by our generous alumnus, Hubert Ma. The award goes to Kurt Bertone. Kurt is my advisee, and he is, I tell you, I think his motor runs just a little bit higher than the average student. He is extremely well prepared. Professors really like his organization, his curiosity, and the engagement that he brings into the classroom. So congratulations, Kurt, on a job well done. Our next award is Professor's Award for Distinguished Junior in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. The award is voted on by the professors to recognize a junior with a distinguished record of academic performance who is highly engaged in chemical and biomolecular engineering courses and facilitates learning by promoting productive interactions with students and professors. So this award goes to Pedro Sever Silva. Pedro is also one of my advisees. He is an incredibly high achiever. He's earned lots of A+ in chemical and biomolecular engineering courses. He's also doing some really nice research in medicine. I should point out that Pedro took a number of our courses a year ahead of schedule. He's a wonderfully organized and highly dedicated young man. And congratulations, Pedro, on winning this award. We next move to our senior awards. These are the awards we normally have in a separate reception right before commencement. And I just want to say, briefly here that our seniors have been remarkably resilient over their time here, especially this year with the COVID impact and how it disrupted our senior design. They were real champions throughout this whole process. We're very proud of all of you for what you've done. And I know your senior year didn't quite end the way you had envisioned it all these years. We were also hoping to end it in person today with you. So since we cannot do that, we really do hope that many of you, if not all of you, can join us next year, where we will have an in-person reception to honor you and to meet your families. So thank you to our seniors for being again so resilient. This, I think, is the best word. And I just want to point out the first award. I don't award it here. I just want to point out, though, it's awarded later today. So let me read what I have here. The Chemical Engineering Program Award. The Program Award is the highest award bestowed on a graduating senior. And it's actually not awarded here, but at the School of Engineering's award ceremony later this afternoon. The faculty have decided that the Program Award will be given later this afternoon to James Doan. And I have 90 seconds of praise for James that I deliver at this next pre-recorded ceremony. So please tune in to hear the official awarding of the Program Award to James. Next are the Dennis Threadgill Awards. This award is named for former professor and department chair Dennis Threadgill and recognizes 2 students on the basis of academic excellence. So the winners for the Threadgill Awards this year, Riley Knight and David Bloom. So I met Riley as a high school senior. She attended my fluid mechanics class with her mom, and it was just great to meet her back then. And then I'm so glad that she came to Vanderbilt. Aside from being an outstanding student in the classroom, Riley has been a star in the research laboratory. She won the NSF Graduate Fellowship. She won first prize at AICHE this past year for her research presentation, as I mentioned on an earlier slide. And she's been really highly involved with the campus activities and many extracurriculars during her career here at Vanderbilt. Next, Riley will attend the PhD program in molecular engineering at the University of Chicago. Like Riley, David has won an award from us in the past. Since I didn't teach David, I reached out to his professors, and here's what they said, just kind of a composite of comments. An enthusiasm for problem solving and being challenged, a resource to his classmates, highly intellectual and very professional. David is going to work for Anheuser-Busch, I think, which is fitting because he was on the microbrewery team for senior design. Congratulations to you both, Riley and David. The next awards, the American Institute of Chemists Awards. We will give these two awards to two outstanding seniors on the basis of their academic achievement. The winners are Andrew Feitel and Jonah LeVan. I had the privilege to teach Andrew last year, and he is a deeply intelligent young man who has a flair for molecular thermodynamics. In fact, last year, Andrew won our thermodynamics award. Just a pleasure to have in class. Andrew and Jonah both agreed to serve on a senior panel for our first year students last year in my course. They were both terrific, gave the first year students a lot of good advice for how to navigate chemical engineering, and I appreciate them doing that. Also, as I did not teach Jonah, I reached out to some of his professors, and here are a few of their quotes. Jonah is a very driven chemical engineer who is always prepared and ready to lead. A welcome ability to ask a needed, timely question in class to help clarify the most confusing points. Always seem to be prepared and on top of things. Calmness, no matter the turbulence. Jonah will be working at AICHE, and I want to congratulate both Andrew and Jonah for their outstanding career here at Vanderbilt. The William A. Ma Award. This is awarded to an outstanding senior on the basis of a demonstrated record of leadership and scholastic achievement. So note the word leadership here, as this William A. Ma Award is a little different from our sophomore and junior Ma Awards. The award is presented to James Doan. James is not only an outstanding student, but he has been an exemplary leader of our AICHE student chapter for the past 2 years. James is organized, driven, and just has lots of good ideas for promoting the professional development of our students. As a chapter advisor of AICHE, James made my life so much easier. In fact, he saved me several $100s last year in advance of the annual meeting by just being so on top of things. The truth is, I probably learned more from James these past 2 years than he did from me. But it's just been a great privilege to work with James through the AICHE. It's also been a privilege to have him in class. He's probably the most inquisitive student I've had in over 20 years here at Vanderbilt. I mentioned on an earlier slide, he also won first prize for his research this past year at AICHE. James will soon go to work, begin work for ExxonMobil. Our last senior award is the Robert Tanner Undergraduate Research Award. This award is given to one graduating senior who has excelled in undergraduate research. The winner of the Tanner Award is Ben Gwynn. Ben performed research in the laboratory of Professor John Wilson. Ben has given 6 research presentations on his work, including the Biomedical Engineering Society and the American Institute of Chemical Engineers national meetings. He was awarded first place in his division for his poster presentation at the 2019 AICHE annual meeting in Orlando. Ben will be co-first author on a publication. He is also co-inventor on an application that he played an active role in assembling and editing. According to Dr. John Wilson, Without question, Ben has made the biggest impact of any undergraduate student that I've had in my lab. Ben has an authentic love of science and is deeply committed to research. Ben will seek to earn his PhD in molecular engineering from the University of Washington. Now we move on to our graduate student awards. First is the Tomlinson Ford Award for Outstanding Teaching Assistant. The award is presented to the teaching assistant from the prior academic year, okay, so not 1920, but rather 1819, who achieved the highest ratings on student evaluations. The award is named for Professor Tomlinson Ford, who served as chair of the department from 1989 to 1996. The winner is Kevin Korn. Kevin TA'd Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering 2100, which is our sophomore material balances, in the fall, and that'll be the fall of 18, and Chemi 3350 in the spring of 19. His average evaluation score for the two courses was 4.92 out of 5, which is insanely high. Example comments from students include, Kevin is a gift from God as TA. Professor Lippman explains the theory, and Kevin took me through the problem-solving process. One of the best TAs I've had. He's very good at explaining things. The lectures he filled in for Professor Lippman were excellent. You know, just as an aside, I think that's saying a lot. If Professor Lippman is such a great lecturer, which we know he is, and Kevin as a TA can fill in and get those kind of comments, that's pretty remarkable. Another student said, I love Kevin, capital letters, all caps. He went out of his way to supplement the class in ways he thought would be helpful, including extra office hours around exams and coming in on weekends. This man is not only a phenomenal TA, but a phenomenal human being, and we were so lucky to have him. Congratulations, Kevin, on winning the Tomlinson Ford Award for Outstanding Teaching Assistant. Next is the best research paper by a second-year student. The award is presented to the most deserving second-year PhD student who is author on a published manuscript of high quality. Before I award this, I want to say this sets a pretty high bar because it is hard to have a published paper as a first author as a second-year student. That is not common. And the award goes to Andrew Niclario. As a second-year student, Andrew has a first author paper in the journal ACS Applied Materials and Interfaces entitled Visualizing Oxidation Mechanisms in Few-Layered Black Phosphorus via in situ Transmission Electron Microscopy. According to Professor Kadambi, Andrew did all the ex situ experiments, data analysis, and writing of this paper. He has successfully led projects on H boron nitride growth, carbon nanotube growth from oxides in my group, and is mentoring a team of 4 undergraduate students, 3 on machine learning and 1 on black phosphorus growth. He also won a Vince Award for $2,000 for a user project and is co-inventor on a patent application for my group. This is quite the start to graduate research. Congratulations, Andrew, on such tremendous work. Next is the best research paper by a third-year graduate student. The award is presented to the most deserving third-year PhD student who has authored his first author on a published manuscript of high quality. And the winner is Rebeb Leone. Rebeb is first author on a manuscript entitled Thermally Carbonized Porous Silicon for Robust Label-Free DNA Optical Sensing, published in ACS Applied Biomaterials earlier this year. Rebeb was nominated both by Professor Sharon Weiss and Paul Abinas. Professor Weiss states, Rebeb's work has the potential to be the turning point in moving porous silicon biosensors from a promising benchtop academic demonstration to a viable platform for applications in real-world environments. Rebeb was then the first to demonstrate that a thermally carbonized porous silicon surface can be used to attach DNA bioreceptors for the selective detection of DNA sequences. Only 2 prior papers suggested the possibility to use thermally carbonized porous silicon for biosensing applications, and neither addressed the challenge of detecting a charged species such as DNA. Rebeb is a true leader in my group, and we would not be moving forward our initiatives to translate porous silicon sensors to clinical applications without her expertise. Congratulations, Rebeb, on a tremendous job. Next is our award for Outstanding Graduate Student. This award is presented to a PhD student 4th year and up who excels in research and through his or her efforts has made the department a better place for all of us. The winner is Jonna Rosh. Jonna was nominated by his advisor, Dr. Ethan Lippman. Jonna wins this award today based on his track record of research in the laboratory and his service to the department through ChBE, our Chemical Engineering Graduate Student Association. And I must say I've been in Olin Hall on several weekends and seen Jonna there quite often, working diligently to advance his research. Jonna was a tremendous leader for our ChBE, working to engage our graduate students and promote faculty-student interactions. I also reached out to our staff who have to work, who get to work with our students, our graduate students, quite a bit over the years. And Felicia Becerra stated, Jonna Rosh is the person we call to help with any need, from giving a campus tour for a visitor, meeting a speaker for breakfast, or serving as an extra set of hands at an event. During recruitment season, we've depended on him to represent the best of Nashville in our department to potential students. As a former president of ChBE, Jonna has continued to honor the spirit of the role and create a sense of community for the department. Jonna, congratulations on such a tremendous career here and being such a fantastic citizen of the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. Our next award is the M. Douglas LeVan Award for Distinguished Record of Graduate Research. The award goes to the finishing PhD student who has achieved the most impressive record of research through peer-reviewed publications and other scholarly products. The award is named for Professor Douglas LeVan, who was chair of the department from 1997 until 2008. And our winner is Dr. Emma Neal. Emma was nominated by her research advisor, Dr. Ethan Lippman, who states, "It is an honor and a privilege to have Emma as one of my first graduate students. No matter how ridiculous any of my requests were, I could always count on her to get the job done. I'm excited to see how her career progresses and she makes the transition into medicine." Emma has been, these are my words now, Emma has been nothing short of an intellectual tour de force in the Lippman Group with 9 published manuscripts during her time. And I think there are others that will be appearing in the coming months. She won the Best Research Paper Award last year for her efforts. She has been an NSF Graduate Fellow and a PEO Scholar during her time in our program. Emma, congratulations on winning this most prestigious awards for our graduate student body. And our last award of the event is the Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Award for Excellence in Teaching. This award is given to the professor who is judged to be the most outstanding, based in part on student evaluations over the preceding 3 semesters. And this year, for the first time, we have a winner who has won it before. Our winner is Professor Ethan Lippman. These last 3 awards have had a Lippman flavor with Jonna, Emma, and now Professor Lippman himself. Professor Lippman is our first 2-time winner of this award in a 7-year history. He certainly has not rested on his laurels. Professor Lippman has taught our junior level separations course, our junior level mass transfer course, and his elective on biomolecular engineering. One of our seniors stated it well during senior exit interviews last week. Dr. Lippman just knows how to teach. He presents the material in a logical way and at a rate that you can comprehend as a student. And he always saves time for an example to tie the theory to an application. During course evaluations, a junior stated, "I thought that the lectures were very streamlined versions of the textbook and very helpful. They were right to the point and helped me to both fully understand the concepts and the math of the problems." Another student added, "He is perfect." So congratulations to Dr. Lippman for winning the Chemie Award for Excellence in Teaching again. With that, I want to thank all of you for watching this video. I want to collectively thank all of our winners for doing such a great job in such a challenging year this year with so many disruptions and the remote work and all of that. Your work, your hard work, dedication, accomplishments really shine through, and I'm very optimistic about our future. Thank you to all.